Welcome back. There are fears that Zimbabwe is heading for a recession. A gloomy rainy season forecast for the agro-based economy, as well as a global slump in demand for its minerals, are to blame. The financial services sector says macroeconomic policy changes are needed to avert the recession. On Wednesday, the International Monetary Fund has slashed its Zimbabwe growth forecast from 2.8% to 1.5%, confirming Zimbabwe's earlier projection of an economic slowdown.
Fears of a recession are growing as Zimbabwe's economy runs out of steam. In 2012, the growth rate was 10.6%, but just 3 years later, it's expected to end the year on 1.5%.
Now, going to 2016, the challenge is that we're going to expect below normal to below normal rainfall, and that again can have a serious impact on 2016 growth projections. What that means is that for us not to go into a recession, we need to implement expansionary policies.
With no control over the money supply of the international currencies in use, as well as no control over interest rates, its options are limited. Banks say, however, that improving the investment climate will help, including reducing the 9 to 10 months it takes for foreigners to open businesses.
It is something remarkable, I would say.
The International Monetary Fund is more optimistic, believing the country is moving in the right policy direction. This week, the team from Washington concluded a second review of macroeconomic reforms. The team confirms that Zimbabwe has met its targets in public finance management, labor law liberalization, and stabilizing the financial services sector. The IMF believes Zimbabwe is inching closer to normalizing relations with creditors.
The attitude of the international community is improving toward Zimbabwe. This does not mean that everything's done and the process will be a walk in the park, by no means. But I think that there is a window of opportunity that Zimbabwe should seize and demonstrate that the commitments are matched by earnest implementation.
The staff monitoring program is aimed at building confidence among creditors.
The end game is to reach an accommodation with creditors in order to clear our arrears. To clear our arrears, if we do, in order to get new money, to access capital markets.
However, the IMF says it could take some time before creditors are prepared to loan Zimbabwe money. Little comfort for this country as its economy teeters. Shingai Nyoka, SABC News, Harare, Zimbabwe.